Results of the flea market. What was yesterday? Was yesterday the 20th? I forget. Anyway, the fall flea market, we'll call it. And kind of a smalls kind of day. Nothing big. There's a bunch of stuff here. We'll go down the list. Let's see. This is a 1923 Remington Portable. Remington Portable typewriter, and it is August 1923 and number 30488, and it actually does work. It actually works. Why did I buy a typewriter? Well, it's the smallest portable I've really ever seen, and it's in really nice shape. It actually works, and believe it or not, I do know how to use one of these, and it's just cool. And I can clean the case up nice. It's kind of like some of the Victrolas I work on. It's easy to fix. Okay, moving on. Couple of nice vintage, probably 60s USA laminated steel padlocks. They don't make these in America anymore, and they're kind of hard to get. So when you see them, buy them, especially when they're brand new with both keys and everything like that. And believe it, that these were like $5 each. You cannot get the repops they make nowadays in Cheapistan that inexpensively. All right. Couple flashlights. We have a Vietnam era military flashlight. They're pretty common. This wasn't expensive. I think I paid about maybe, oh, I know what it was, 15 bucks for the two flashlights. This one, however, this is, who made this? Dalo. It's an Eveready Dalo, that's right. It's clean inside, nothing's exploded, neither one of these flashlights. It's complete, it's intact. It's got the nice crystal there on the front. And they will both function. Look at the size of the bulb. I don't know if you can see that in there. They will both function with batteries once I get them in there. This one's going in my my Model A Ford. That one is going in the M37. Nice little find there. This holster came, let's see, this was a bundle deal with one of these two bags. I think it was this one. No, I'm sorry. That was not with the bag. What did I get from that man? Oh, yeah, the Toolbox. That is a late 50s or early 60s Craftsman, old logo, cantilever toolbox. There were no tools in it, but well, there were a couple tools in it. But it, actually, when I looked, whoops, scared the cat. It was full of cotter pins and other little things and washers and a big old pencil. But look how nice and clean that is, and none of the little arms are broken off it. What it needs is some paint, and it'll be as good as new. It's structurally solid, and he sold it to me for 10 bucks with a mystery holster here, and I think there were a couple of little things, I forget what. Can't go wrong with that. Then we have a whole pile of Ford logo tool with some, yeah, there we go, Ford logo on it. These were used in the 1920s and 30s on Model Ts, Model As, Model Bs, and all the other Fords of the 30s, and Fords and tractors. Yeah, see, you got the little toolkits with them, because back then there weren't mechanics. You had to take your car to the blacksmith if you wanted it fixed. Not every town had that, so they gave you a toolkit, a very basic toolkit. This is not the whole kit. This is just some of the wrenches. But they gave it to you so you could fix your own car. And there you go. Those are the Ford wrenches. Got a whole pile of them. I think it was 30 bucks, and these things generally go around $8 to $10 a piece. So I really couldn't pass that up, and I have two vintage Fords, so one of these might actually be good for one of my kits. $10 item. This is a British Enfield number one Mark III star. Brand new butt plate on that. I mean, the wood's good too. I think this is a short stock. They come in different sizes so that you could adjust them, you know, for your trigger pull and all that for your size. But that's a brand new butt plate on it. Brass too. Not one of those aluminum replacement ones, but a nice brass one with clean screws. That's a nice find. Well, I was looking for a new skillet, or a skillet bigger than the one I have. This is, I believe, a 10-inch. Is it a 10-inch? Yeah, 10.5-inch. I believe this is an unmarked Griswold or Wagner. Either way, it's good. I am not eating food cooked off of some cheap Chinese, you know, whatever that they sell at Walmart. This is a good one. It's nicely seasoned too. Not that I won't season it again, but one gentleman had one that was actually painted black. And I pointed this out. Oh, no, that's not paint, it's just seasoned. I scraped it with my fingernail, the black paint was flaking off with rust underneath. I said, you trying to kill me? No, I want to eat off this, not hanging on a wall for display. But this is a nice one. And these are kind of expensive. You know, when you find them on eBay, they're like 25, 35, 40 bucks. I got that for 15 bucks. And it's a nice shape. There's no pitting in there, no nastiness, it's just seasoned. That's a good find, and I will use that. Got quite a few bags. This bag, you can see there's a lot of crap still in it, mostly hardware and some kind of speedometer. I don't know what that's off of, but this was a nice little bag, was filled with all the rusty tools you see in that bucket of vapor rust there. All kinds of wrenches, and you know what? They were all USA. SK, Snap-on, Craftsman, Billings, and there's also a small vise in there that I got from a gentleman. I picked it up, I spotted it in his pile of junk, and it's a little rusty. You know, the shafts that it slides on were a little rusty. And I look at it and I see Made in USA on it. Most of these are made in India, or they're made in Taiwan, or whatever. Cheap junk. This is a nice USA made one. Just a small little vise put on the edge of the bench to work on small projects. And he wanted 20 bucks for it. And I said, hey, you know what, this thing is rusted, it's frozen solid. What am I supposed to do with it? I have to be forever cleaning it. So he knocked it down to 10 bucks. And I said, okay, for USA little vise, I will definitely pay 10 bucks for that, no problem at all. And it was the day for oil cans, all of them $2 and $3 each. We've got Eagles, most of them are Eagles actually, all different sizes. We have this one I like the most, it's the oldest. It's gonna need a new leather bellows in there, I think, and some cleaning up. But that's nice. That's a nice can. And they're all good on the bottom. They're not leaking shit all over the place. And here we go. We got a nice little Eagle pump. This one works. I squirted all over the place before with it. Didn't realize there was still oil in it. Just nice bunch of oil cans. You can never have too many of these. Different spouts on them, all of that stuff. Because nobody uses just one kind of oil. And I don't like to use those spray oils on things. Everything I have is old and it requires a heavier wet oil. You know, oil that does not evaporate. It may turn sticky in 100 years, but it doesn't evaporate. And that's what I use these for. You know, there's medium weight oils, there's lightweight oils, there's heavy duty oils. There's stuff like you can fill one with STP, you know, motor medic stuff, and use that to lubricate stuff too. We have a phonograph tone arm here from an Arianola. It's an Arianola. Arian Manufacturing Company in Boston. It's in good shape, and I will use parts off that for my phonograph projects. We have a nice vintage, probably 1920s or 30s funnel here, a nice small one. Which is real convenient to fit down in the Model A. So I'm going to use that. Here we go, is a vintage Craftsman drill bit box that is actually filled with bits. And the bits are mostly sharp, and if they're not, I have a machine that sharpens those. All original Craftsman bits too, none of them appear to be replacements. And that's nice, because this is from back when Craftsman still offered quality products. I'm going to guess this is about 40, 45, 50 years old. And you don't get this anymore. You can kiss that goodbye. These are nice, good quality drill bits. Coffee pot. I had one similar to it. That was US Navy Mark 1918 I bought last year. And I was offered enough money for it that it definitely went. So I have a replacement. This one isn't marked anything, but it's, you know, USA, probably 1940s or 50s. Typical camping style or, you know, log cabin style coffee pot. I put this on a big wood stove, keep my water hot all day long. And it's good for that. And I think that was 20 bucks, which for a pot in that condition is pretty good. Here we go. Day of the bags. Just some nice little tool bag. I'm going to use them for tool bags anyway. U.S. military bag. This one's marked Boyd 44. This one, I believe, is marked 45. 40 to 45. Oh, this one I'll get to in a second here with something else about it. But yeah. 0.45. This one was customized. Somebody had some nice sewing done to this. We have a little bag in the front that doesn't belong there, but it's nice to have. And 2 M1 carbine magazine pouches. Look at that. Red Wine and Strain, 1945. One on either side. Yeah, they put one on either side for the M1 carbine. Guess whoever was issued this. Pocket cartridge, caliber 30, carbine or rifle. You know, if I really wanted to, I could pick the stitching out and take those off and put them on my M1 carbines, but I don't need them. They'll stay on the bag. Both bags are in pretty good shape, a little dirty here and there, but the bottoms are nice and not all beat up. And they are going to be holding various tools that I need to keep in the M37. A little older than the truck, but that's okay. You know, they were both, I think the most I paid was 20 bucks if it's this one with the pouches. The other one was like 10 or $15, something like that. And what else? I think that about covers it. Oh yeah, I got some small files and a new Britain, you know, double box wrench. This one has a phosphate coating on it, so I'm going to guess this is probably World War II military. So that'll go with the bags, and it'll go in the truck. Oh, and a little grease gun. That plastic thing is just holding a toolbox up. This is for the Model A, so we're going to keep that with the Model A. A nice little find for I think $2 or $3, you know. For the most part, people were willing to deal. It's getting toward the end of the season, and everybody wants to get rid of stuff. Most everybody wants to get rid of stuff. There's always the one guy, you know the type. There was a gentleman there, had 2 toolboxes with miscellaneous sockets and wrenches, nothing special. I asked him, what do you want for the tools? And he told me, I want 50 bucks for that box and 60 for the other, and then we'll price them individually. Okay, so I picked through, and I wasn't cherry picking the good stuff. I was looking for SK, which is the tools I actually use. You know, it's always good to have spare. So I picked up 4 or 5 wrenches, a couple sockets, just SK. I left the snap-on, I left the Mac, I left the Matco. All the stuff that's a lot more expensive I left in there. And I said, so, here's what I have. What can we come to agreement on here? I'm thinking $1 or $2, maybe a wrench, maybe, because a couple of them were electrolyte, and that's a little bit older. And that's what I would pay on eBay at most, and most at the time at the flea market. He does, yeah, I got to get 30 bucks for that. $30. You just told me you wanted 50 for that, 60 for the whole bunch of tools. But for these little 5 items or 6 items, you want $30. I said, I'm going to go $1, maybe 2 tops. That's it. Oh, I can't do that. Okay, fine. Put it back on the table. Away I went. And I'm sure he hauled that crap home with him. And yet I got this whole bag full of wrenches here for, what did I pay for this? 20 bucks. I think it was 20 bucks for the whole bag full of wrenches and a nice bag. And this is World War II also. Somewhere it's marked. It's a nice bag. No holes in it. Full of all kinds of little items I threw in there. Little sockets. And there was even snap-on in this. You know, here. A snap-on screwdriver. Good tip. Not that that matters because they'd replace it. I see these on eBay like $10, you know. And this is a perfect size. This is the one you use all the time. So that's good. You know, that's good to have. I'll stash that somewhere and use it. If I went to Snap-on to buy that, I'm sure it would be more than what I pay for the whole bag. Because they're kind of expensive. And, you know, it's all good stuff. I saw some nothing. This and the buttstock were the closest gun-related items I saw. There are no more guns at the flea markets. You know, oh no, I'm sorry. There was one gentleman there who I bought that modified bag from, who had a 1 of 3 ever made flintlock pistol from the Revolutionary War era. I forget who made it. Obviously they were all individually made by gun makers. He wanted $25,000 for it. I looked at him, I said, you brought this to the flea market where people chisel you on $5 items. Oh well, you never know. $25,000 and you got it sitting on a little wooden box on your table. I said, well, braver man than me, because I wouldn't do that. I would send that directly to auction and play it safe. I mean, who's going to walk into the flea market with 25 grand to buy it anyway? I'm assuming he would take less, maybe 20. Not me. But that was it. You know, most other people were pretty good. Oh, the Gershner box guy. Well, it wasn't. It was a Union box, actually. Yeah, it was a Union machinist chest. One of the wooden ones with the black fabric covering. I bought a nice one 4 or 5 years ago. I paid 80 bucks for it in really nice condition. I happened to see this box. It was similar to mine, so I stopped to look at it. I did not say anything. Didn't even open my mouth. Comes over. Oh, that's 150 bucks. But if you want to flea market me, it's going to be 200. Look at the guy. Flea market you? This is the flea market. And you don't want to entertain an offer from me on your box that looks like a piece of crap? Well, you know, it's dirty. It's got mouse turds all inside of it. The mirror is broken. The drawers are loose. I just nodded and I said, well, in that case, I'll take my 150 bucks and just walk on down the lane. Goodbye. But everybody else pretty good. You know, no problems. You can see I did get the little lot of small stuff. That junk over there, that's not from the flea market. Not this flea market anyway. That's just stuff that needs to be put away. And that was it. That was the flea market haul.